Kia ora whānau. So, as we've established in previous videos, just go look back to my TikTok or Nuku Inc. on YouTube or Facebook. There's more life in and around you than there is actually you. Like, there's more life forms inside your lower intestines than there is actual human cells. There's more bacterial cells inside you than there is human cells. There's more, at least 10 times the amount. At least 10 times the amount of bacterial cells as there are what can be classified human cells. There's at least 10 times the amount of virus cells as there are bacterial cells. And there's many parasites in a healthy human. So in a healthy intestine, in each layer of your intestines, it should be like coral reef. Heaps of little holes and heaps of little crevices for all these different creatures to live. And those are filled with all the different types of mucus. Good mucus. They don't hate on the mucus. There's mucus coming from your eyes, your nose, your ears, your mouth, all through your spinal column, everywhere, all through your body, every opening. You wouldn't be able to shit without it. You wouldn't be able to piss without it. When you start to be aware of all these billions, innumerable, unmeasurable amount of creatures that are in your body, you start to have consideration for them and how they like to live. Kia ora whānau. Hinekeira. I've written 20 puraakau, one for each of your fingers and toes, to go with the, and one each paw for each of your bigger articulations, whether it's your neck and your shoulders and that, to go with the 13 moon hinatanga, the 13 moon Māori calendar, as taught to me from my auntie and my nan, but enhanced from, channeled from following their teachings for the last 10 years to fill in the gaps. We've been crafting it for quite some time. But Hinekeira, I've written all the books, but we're just taking time to develop the books and downscale the books. Like a puraakau is to raise a vibration within you. Get to know the story well enough so it can raise the vibration. Different moments in their story raise their vibration, then let go of the story. Forget the story and just sit with that vibration without putting any labels with it, and just breathe with it, love with it, hold gratitude for it. And then it starts releasing all the trauma that it's held for us unconsciously for so long. But we've just gone through the process of copywriting them all, just to protect my auntie and my nan's contributions. But the Hinekeira one, there's been a lot of messages, people asking all the different facets of Hinekeira, thinking that she was just an assassin, to Tutanui, got eaten by the tohunga named Kai. Within Tinero, the 2 star constellations, and Hinekeira being the assassins that went over to get Utu, or to get Kai. But those assassins got their name from Hinekeira. Hinekeira is the hoa rangatira, or the wife of Matauranga, the god of war. So she's the goddess of war, but she's your adaptive immune system. Matauranga will be your innate immune system. Anything that enters his rohe, he gets them out of there. If he hasn't had enough time to get to know the creature, just uses every weapon, every arsenal, every toa that he has in his disposal, he'll send all the wakataua against him, all the different armies that he has against the creature. And it could be like in a different area of your intestines, a creature enters there and you don't know what it is, so you use all the laser beams, all the bazookas, all the airstrike against it because you don't know what it is, and you end up blowing up the whole back wall at the same time, which is what inflammation is. Any inflammation that you're suffering for whatever the fuck, it comes from you overdoing the job. The creatures inside you not knowing what they're up against, so them using too much force. Hinekeira goes and befriends or tires out. She tests them, like she goes to war with them, but she doesn't wipe them out. She tests them and she joins them into the army. She has access into all the different rohe. She'll go to where Matauranga won't go. She'll go to the most desolate, downtrodden areas. So in your especially your lower intestine, a lot of the teaching coming out these days is your microbiomes in your lower intestine, but you got a microbiome in your eyes, in your nostrils, in your ears, in your bones, under your arms, everywhere. Everywhere's got its own specific microbiome. It's just in your we call it the Māori biome, and in your lower intestines. They create biofilm. Some would say biofilm is like when people don't understand what they're up against, they want to kill it, like Matauranga. So they see creatures that they don't even know what the fuck they're doing, but they see all these creatures. Doctors will look at it in these powerful microscopes and they just look like dots. All these dots are moving around. If this dot's going inside that dot and going back to that dot's house and eating all those dots, then it's doing parasitic shit, so they call it parasites. Otherwise, if they see features on it, whether it's got facial features or whether it's got arms, legs, whether it's like a nematode, whether it's like a worm type creature, whether it looks like the alien on Alien versus Predator, they name them parasites and they condemn them, trap them as a parasite, just like us trapping a demon as a demon. Not getting to know it and giving it gratitude so it can grow its wings back and become an archangel again, which is Hatana. Growing back into Mahuika, Manuahi, going like a phoenix. As we stop controlling the shit, stop labeling it. Your world is exactly what you think it is. If you think the serial killer stuck a serial killer, then it is in your reality. If you believe it can cure itself, then you're in the center of your whole entire reality. You can cure it, which is what Hinatanga is. Hinatanga is self-love, which is unconditional love. The only true unconditional love is self-love. Like, you got to put yourself first 100%. Otherwise, when we do what we were taught, we put our family first, our grandparents first, our rohe first, our children first, and we get tired. The amount of love that we give just gets less. It's conditional. I'll do anything for my kids. What if your kids are stabbing you with a knife? No? That's not even a true statement. but if you put yourself first 100%, you prioritize your own self-love first, you got more time to listen to your breath. You got more time to listen to your heartbeat, to talk to yourself nicely, to say thank you to yourself. Then the love gets stronger. The love you give your kids gets stronger. That's unconditional love, when you put yourself as the number one. Iyo. And then iyo e au. I'm God of my reality, you're God of your reality. I'm affecting yours, you're affecting mine. But I hold the control stick of my one, my aro. I choose what I show myself each day. What I frequently see becomes my frequency. The world is exactly what you think it is. My world is magic. But so Hinekeira, I'll share that story. Like I'm setting up the camera and I'll read that full Puraakau out there. All the rest of them, we're planning on doing a Patreon. So I'll release part of the story until I've got the books illustrated over this year, and I'll release those. But the Hinekeira one, I'll read the whole thing and put it out there, because it's so beneficial that people get to realize that you are not alone. You are never alone. This this world doesn't exist without at least two sides. Like, as soon as you exit te kore, and you see a dot, you have a perception of that dot, and the dot has a perception of you. If you condemn that dot, if you think that you're going back to a state of moke moke, if you think that nothing exists but you, and this dot saved you, you hold it, you label it. If at that moment that dot flashed white, you give all your love to the light, no? And you held it, you stopped it from moving. In reality, the dot's flashing and the background's flashing. Everything is flashing. Everything, every two things share all attributes, which is wairua, you know, the two waters which are exactly the fucking same. If you think darkness just contracts, then it does for you. If you think white light radiates and that's it, then that's what it is for you. Then you can never understand te mangumaku. Te mangumaku is like radiant darkness, no? And it's magic. Which is why Dahi Komo from Mahuika was created in the heart of Te Mangumaku, which is the black sun, which is divine light. You got to realize you're God to see that shit. To relax and let everything start flashing again, you got to surrender. Let go of everything. No, let go until you resist no thing, until you resist te kore. And then anything that enters te kore will bring it back. Because for te kore to stay te kore, anything that enters te kore will push it back out, so it can stay no thing. It doesn't exist. Te kore, that's its whole identity, non-existence. So it'll remain non-existent forever. If there's anything that fully lets go to te kore will push it back out. And you'll come back into this world brand new. Otherwise, te potahuri atu is when we... I've released videos that I got a memory from doing 10 years of intense energy work. Fell into this shit. I got a memory of being in this what I thought was te kore, what I thought was no thing, but it was my perception of that. I was holding nothing from happening. There was a vibration there holding me in a trap until I finally let go. I'm back. Brand new, which is why the structure of wairua, like the structure of water of wai, if you look at the sacred geometrical patterns of any pattern that you can see that represents wai, whether it's the H2O or H3O2, whether there's like 3 sticks or 3 balls, 3 bubbles that are all holding each part of this sacred geometrical pattern, there's always one part missing. No, it's got that whole structure, there's always one part gone. That part's in te kore. As that part comes, the another one disappears into te kore. The rest are holding the net while the other one's gone. It's never completely the same, but it's never gone. While one fully has a chance to fully let go into te kore, charge up the energy and bring back, which creates the world, the rest of the structure's there. Which is why you can never step into the same river twice. No, it's already changed. You've already dropped your skin right now. No, you're already downloaded. You're different. No, you already downloaded Modi. You've already breathed Modi that a rhino breathed in just in the last 10 minutes. You're not the same anymore. You are brand new. Which is why when we talk about Hine Nui Te Po, she's the goddess of darkness. But Po, not the darkness that we see, it's not black. It's restfulness. No, rest from the stimulation of 2 sides, and then when you have 2, you got me having a perception of the dot, and which creates the dot having a perception of me. As soon as I'm aware of this, I'm the third one, I'm the witness. And then from there I can turn every direction, and every perception that you think of, it just creates bah, 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 bah. And there's just overload of stimulation. Nothing exists without every part of the net. Eeyore is the all. Eeyore experiences every part, from every direction, every sense, every flavor, everything. It is the all. Holding every part of the net. If I think something sick, Eeyore sends part of itself, of the all, to hold that. And the most fucking sick shit that there is the one that loves, the most powerful part of Eeyore will hold that for me until I'm ready to release it. The rest of them won't hold it because fuck that. Ne? But this one loves me so much it will. It'll hold that manifestation until I'm ready to let it go. But getting back to Hinekeira. So within our intestines, you can see it. A healthy intestine is like a coral reef. and then it's filled with all those different mucus layers where all these billions and billions and billions of different densities of creatures live. You can see that in the food forest, which is why you got the different strata, different light. When you're looking at especially gardening indoors, if you go to look at like Colorado videos when they're growing big amounts of organic bud indoors, what they're doing, they got a climate control. So they're trying to imitate nature. So you got the light, you got the temperature, you got the humidity, and then you got the pressure. The pressure. So this is when you realize that darkness pushes as well. It's not just pulling, it's not just contracting. So you got the different strata. There's 7 layers of your skin, at least 7 essential layers, and then there's 7 essential layers inside a food forest too. You can see them as the canopy trees as one of the layers, and then you got the fruit and nut trees, and then you got the medium trees, and then the shrubs, the bushes, the ground cover, the root layer, the vines. They all dig down into different layers, as whatever the size of the tree goes up, it's the same going down. But and they're grabbing kai from those different layers, taking it up into the leaves and dropping it, which is creating different layers of mulch. So they're grabbing different types of minerals that feed each other. The creatures that are surviving in that mulch layer can't exist without the whole. You can't exist without the whole. All these billions of types of creatures that are inside you, you can't exist without the whole. You are io. So and then each one down is they're calling strata. They're different heights, but they're creating different sizes of shadows. It's actually pressure. That's where the pressure comes in when they're growing bud. You got the light, you got the temperature, you got the humidity, then you got that pressure, which is that dark. And without that pressure being there, the humidity would just release. But with that pressure there, it's holding that humidity, which is where you grow all the different types of fungi. Which is why there's heaps of medicinal mushrooms that don't grow until they're in a dense, like deep down gully. Where the moisture's held there from the different layers, the different strata of darkness holding it. Radiant darkness. So you can see it as like fine moisture that's on the leaves. Without that pressure, it just evaporates. When you got that pressure, it pushes it in. But inside your intestine, you got those different layers as well. Yeah, and you can see them as different densities of goo. When you learn how these creatures inside you love to live, and you start to have consideration for them, which is why you wouldn't be like any other creature and be drinking water as you eat. Like no other creature does that unless they spent a lot of time around a human who was doing some retarded shit too much. Unless they were in a survival state. They needed to quickly eat and then get to that river and get the fuck out before the lion comes and eats them. And you got 2 nervous systems, your parasympathetic, which is your rest and restoration, and your sympathetic, which is your fight or flight, your tūmatoenga. And then your rongo is your rest and restoration, and that's you actually get time to let it in. If you're talking about any other atua, if I'm talking like tama aaraki katoa, if I'm saying that 72 children of Rangi and Papa and the male, they're doing. As soon as you pay attention, which is te ara pautama, the steps climbing up, you are doing, you're actual moving. As soon as you feel pauhene, you're climbing in. Hene rei, all the atua are both push and pull. As I'm taking a breath in, the ha is going in, and my chest is expanding, my puku is expanding, my wairu is expanding. As I'm blowing out, the air is going out, and the wairu is coming in. I'm both. I'm in and out at the same time. I'm male, I'm female, I'm a motherfucking atua. So are you. We are doing both the push and the pull at the same motherfucking time. It's flashing. Everything's flashing if you let it flash. As I look into a shadow, there's a white net, and it's not white anymore. It's just all the colors, all the textures. It's just overload of stimulation. but I can quiet down with my different stages of pour. So anu mātou, if I wanted to build a relationship with the goddess of coldness, I just hold my attention on my skin, I go out into the cold, and then I hold my attention on my skin, you know? And then I visualize inward movement and outward, instead of feeling it's too intense and blocking it, which we do with pain, which we do with any type of intensity. If we think it's too intense, our body blocks it, which is your survival state. Your two attack these motherfuckers. But so all these different creatures that are living in our intestine, as we eat, the first intestine's mainly sugar, and then the second intestine, third, fourth, fifth. The first one, not sugar. The first intestine's predominantly acid. There's not too many creatures. There's still a gang of creatures, but not in the thousands of creatures living in there. There's still a gang of creatures living in there, but very high pH, very low pH, very acidic, super acidic. That helps break down. We're supposed to do most of the breaking down in our mouth. There's a microbiome in our mouth, all the creatures in there, and then it gets into the first intestine, which can handle big chunks of kai, big chunks of food, big chunks of fiber in there, which is why the acid gets involved and it breaks them down. But if you eat and drink at the same time, so say you eat a bit of food and it falls into the goo, no, that has created all these different pressures, all these different layers of ecosystem, all these layers of gravity, no, sludge, it falls into the sludge, and then all the creatures move through the sludge and eat the kai. Most of the creatures inside you can't swim. They can't swim in H2O, they swim in H3O2. It's a crystalline, structured water, just like as I was talking about, it's structured. So they can move through those different parts of anu mātou. Anu mātou, the coldness. Hene mō ana, the cave systems in your mind and the crevices that are going in, as she's like carving all the all the different cave systems that are within the water. But she's the holder of knowledge, mō ana. Okay, so you eat some kai, falls into the goo. Otherwise, if you were to drink at the same time as you're eating, the water's filling up the whole intestine, no? Or it's flushing that kai down into the second intestine. The second intestine that doesn't accommodate large amounts of food, no? It didn't get digested in the first one because you fucking watered it out. It gets into the second intestine. These creatures in there can't eat big amounts of food, so you produce more acid, no? Which is acid reflux. You're producing more acid in the different intestines to get rid of the motherfucker. Should not be in there. So when we have consideration for them, we don't eat and drink at the same time, no? And I'll break down how to get as much fiber over the next couple of months. How to get as much fiber in you, of all these diversity of fiber, to be able to eat it without watering it out, which is H3O2. We require minerals for us to make that change from the liquid water, H2O, into H3O2, into structured water. We use a lot of minerals to do that. You create minerals in your body, but you can like supplement it. You can supplement it with sea moss. You can supplement it with different darknesses of mineral salt, not Celtic sea salt, not sea salt, rock salt. Like going from the pinkish white, but you want the darker one, even going up to black salt, but that like tastes like egg. But you can get brown salt, red salt, pretty hard to get in Aotearoa, but there is. And pink salt, you can get a whole gang, Himalayan pink salt. So how you jump start that electrolytes, you know, how you make that transition into crystalline water. If you are drinking normal water, start the day off with I bubble my water first, like how you keep a fish alive in a fish tank. You know, you bubble the motherfucker, how they do in like France and the rivers and shit, how they are able to accommodate creatures in there in lakes where it's not moving. They got these big paddles and they're smashing the water and keeping the water alive, keeping the movement, waking it back up. So you can bubble it just like you bubble a fish tank. You can just get it a bubbler, but try and get like a brewing stone instead of just the normal plastic temu water pump stone that's just aerating the water. You can do that. That helps that process as well. But otherwise, try and get as clean water as you can. Distill the water. If you're town supply water, and if you're renting, ask the owners if you can, as you get the downpipe, you can get a diverter pipe that comes off and fill up a 1,000 litre water tank. ICB, just make sure it was like a food grade one, or any type of fucking catch the rainwater. Catch the rainwater and then distill the rainwater if you want. It can make it even better. But then there's still asleep water, no? It's H2O, it hasn't been moving, it's asleep. Back in the days, kaiwai, we would grab the like river water's awake because it's got all the diversity of all the different plants in there, the movement in there, it's awake, no? It's alive. We would take it, put it in our hui and our calabash, and we would cruise around with it. But at least 3 times a day, we would breathe into it. So Mahuika, she's the fire, like, and she's the 4 chambers of the heart too, but she sits right here with that diamond. She so if you got your 3 fingers and 2 fingers and thumb either side, and you got a cup of water and you hold it up against there and you're breathing into it at least 3 times. You take 3 breaths, breathe into it, and you're like actually watching the surface of the water. We would do that to help wake the water back up. But otherwise, if that's too hard, just get a cup of water in the morning, put a pinch of pink salt in there, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, stir the motherfucker up, and then I would breathe into it. You don't have to do that though, but fuck, no. Bro, energy practice, everything's moving, everything's alive, bro. The more you believe it, the more it's real. Wake a motherfucker up, drink it, kai wai. Help that process. Have consideration for the creatures that live inside you when you realize that they are inside you. You can't start to be considerate. You start to talk to yourself nicely, you start to talk to them nicely. They start releasing dopamine when you need it. Not like they're creatures of habit. So if you're showing yourself sugar each day, they're gonna crave sugar. Yeah? If you show them kale each day for a month, they're gonna crave kale. You're gonna actually start craving kale, especially when you start to love the parasites that are inside you. You know, they can affect your thoughts, affect your cravings and shit. Stop condemning them, free them. But if you have parasites in you and you've been like killing yourself, if you've been, everything's covered in poison, te pairangi. I got videos of that. We grow our food with poison, just in case. No, insecticides, pesticides, antibiotics, hormones, we spraying that shit. Trying to keep away the snails, trying to keep away the slugs, trying to keep away the fucking the butterflies, trying to keep away the bunny rabbits. when you got more diversity, you got all the different colors and all the different flavors, or the spices in the cupboard, they're all releasing pheromones, they balance each other out. You don't need that shit no more. They're talking to each other through that net in the ground, same as you. The same as if you take a blade and you top the first couple of layers of your skin off. That gooey shit, that plasma that comes up, that clear liquid that comes up, that's to protect your microvascular system, which is the same as the fungi on the ground. You don't let the sun get to the dry dirt, no? As you're driving through Pukekohe, as you're driving through Kirikiri, as you're driving through Tauranga, every year they got the most cancer rates. Like, what the fuck? Oh, it's so natural. Fuck no, it's not natural. If the sun's hitting the dirt, it's not natural. And then you got to supplement it with all this shit. And then it's te pairangi. Then you got to fight all the different creatures that are coming up instead of being in unity with them, which is diversity. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't, if you notice you got parasites with you, if you notice you're getting sick, you can't just all of a sudden fucking let them go and follow me and you think you're going to be alright, have some antibiotics, and then and then start supplementing. Don't just go get like a probiotic that's got like 1 billion or what is it, 30,000 mcgs of this one type of lactobacillus salivarius, or that's a fucking mean one though, lactobacillus salivarius, but there's all this all these different types of bacterias. But if you just got one type, it's just like you just dropped a nuke and then you just put maize or corn seeds everywhere, and then the corn grows everywhere. That's monoculture, that's monocrop. Then there's no room for diversity to grow because you've just packed it out full of fucking one type of fucking thing. If you just grow bud and that's it, that's still a monocrop. It's still supporting one category of fungi, one category of bacteria, one category of viruses. A little bit more than that, but still, yeah. Especially tarus are like a real social plant, and it can hold all these different types of things inside it too, different types of polyphenols and shit. It's a real social plant, which is why the endocannabinoid system, which is our rongo maraeroa system, which is it connects to every other system, whether it's your skeletal system, your muscular system, your endocrine system, your microvascular system, your vascular system. But the more you become aware that there is not just you, there's all these creatures living inside you, and if you be nice to them. But to harbour taniwha, to harbour parasites, you got to raise your armies first, which is Hinekeira. So another one, just before we get into Hinekeira, just another one, like we're being considerate of the creatures that are inside us. Start cutting back on the sugar. Yeah. You can like make date paste. Even if you're having organic coconut sugar, even if you're having organic rice syrup, even if you're having organic maple syrup, it doesn't have the fiber of the maple, of the maple tree, and they cut slices in it and get the blood that comes out. You're just having the blood, you're not having the fiber of the fucking trunk. You're not having the coconut palm flour. No, you're not actually having the puti, the fiber that's in the puti. As you're eating a strawberry, all the fructose, all the sugar, the natural sugar which is in every plant, which is in every being, the natural sugar in a strawberry, in an orange, in a pawpaw, it's like comes in a package. So you got the fructose, and then it's covered in a cell. The cell, when it goes through acid, it puffs up. It's like a goo. A defensive goo, which allows it to get past your first intestine. You don't want the sugar to get digested in your first intestine. If you just have organic coconut sugar, it was pulled out of its package, doesn't have the fiber. No, it doesn't have the fiber to get to where it's going, which is what Whole Foods. Same with bud. No, same if you just have THC, it can't get to certain parts of your body. There's at least 400 other components that are with bud. But Whole Foods. Olive oil by itself, inflammatory. If you eat an olive at the same time, you get the fiber of the olive, not inflammatory. It gets digested in your body. Check. But say I had a strawberry, or the fructose, the sugar molecules are protected, within the cell. Goes through the first intestine, it puffs up, that goo protects it, gets to the second intestine. All the creatures inside you love sugar. You don't. but if the say you got organic coconut sugar, organic cane sugar even, goes into the first intestine, it gets dissolved, goes into your bloodstream, you got too much. When you're normally getting sugar, insulin, these creatures come out, grab it, take it in all through these holes, through packages, all throughout your body. You can use it to build every fucking thing. It's magic. But if it released in your first intestine into your bloodstream, you become insulin resistance. Matauranga just grabs it, doesn't know what to do with it, just stockpiles it in a big fucking area. It just becomes a big layer of goo. You can see it like crack in the streets. You can see like pollution in the streets. Like you didn't have the rubbish trucks coming around to pick up the rubbish anymore. They're just all staying there and just piling up. You don't know what to do with it, so you just become unconscious of it and look away from the motherfucker. But it's still doing some shit. But so, okay, Hinekeira. We'll start this bit right here. Hinekeira, your adaptive immune system. Say if you just dropped a nuke in your lower intestine, you just had antibiotics, you just killed all these motherfuckers. But they all drop all their spawn, which is like mushrooms, and they all hide, like as I told you just before, in the coral reef. Has heaps of areas for all these creatures to live. All their spawn, all their seeds are chilling it in all those areas, waiting. They also got a life raft in your tonsils, and you also got a life raft in your appendix. That's what your appendix is fucking for. If you've already got it out, kei te pai, you still got the coral reef. If you've got your tonsils taken out, kei te pai. If the doctor says get rid of your appendix and you don't need to, don't fucking do that. It's a life raft. That's what the motherfucker was made for. It's not just a thing that's chilling it there for fucking nothing. All these billions of creatures just chilling it up in there. But if you just over and over and over, if it's a monthly thing you're having antibiotics, it's no longer a coral reef. It's just going to be like a sleek fucking, like a skate park, like, and you polish the concrete. So there's no more fucking things that can live in there. It's not like a food forest. If it rains, even on a hill, no, you got so much life that's there in all these little pockets, and all the decaying wood and shit. It's slowing down the water as it's coming down. All these different life forms are catching it and grabbing it and taking it into the earth. If it's a polished skate park and it rains, the water's just going straight through. And this one plant's not going to get none of it. You're not absorbing it. But, so you just, so try not to keep having antibiotics. And then, but if you have to have antibiotics, start having diversity. This is how you build your armies. Right here, Hinekeira. So, as you just dropped a nuke, all these creatures died, but they all dropped their spawn. And say you had broccoli, you had the fiber of broccoli, the broccoli army will wake up. No? All those creatures were just in there in this little fucking houses that the parents left, and then broccoli comes past, it has a signal in the fiber of the broccoli army wakes up. And then they'll start eating it, but only at a baby stage. If you feed that broccoli army broccoli again within 7 days, it gets bigger. The broccoli army gets bigger, it can absorb more broccoli. Same with the cauliflower army, same with the rosemary army. Now, I'm calling them armies so you can get a gist of there's a huge amount of creatures in there, but they're all babies, and they only really like eating one type of fiber at the beginning. When you have prebiotics, you start like yakon and hikama and shit. Once you've woken these creatures up, you can add different types of food that they can all stay alive with. So if you woke up the broccoli army with broccoli fiber and then you keep eating yakon, it could stay awake. No, but if you keep feeding it broccoli each week, it's going to keep getting stronger. So you want a diversity. You want a diversity of plant fibers in your body. In a sleep state. So anything I'm holding my attention on, I'm sending energy to it, I'm pulling it, I'm requesting it, I'm creating it. Anything I'm believing, I'm constantly sending energy to it. Got my laser beam setting up, and I wake up in the morning, got all my laser beam setting up, pointing at all my beliefs, which create these bubbles around me, which create the world that I see. If I have limiting beliefs in myself, I'm requesting to be limited. No? If I believe what goes up must come down, I'm requesting, because I'm God in my reality, I'm requesting slow me the fuck down. Put a governor on me. No, if I have a go-kart and I want my daughter to be able to ride it, I can go to the motorbike shop. Can you slow the revs down? Make sure the revs don't go too hard out. No, so they put a governor on it. Hold it back. Stop you revving too much. Stop you reaching your potential. From me having limiting beliefs in myself, like egotistic beliefs, I am where I went to school, I'm what my name is, I can do this. I'm human and that's it. No, I'm Māori and that's it. No, I'm not every motherfucking thing. I'm the sky, I'm the earth, I'm the ocean, I'm every fucking thing, I'm Eo. As you let go of limiting beliefs No, you can start to see more. But as I was having limiting beliefs in myself, I started teaching myself limiting shit. No, what goes up must come down. I can't fly because of gravity. I was putting heaps of restrictions on myself. One of these restrictions I taught myself was, which went out there mainstream, that you don't digest fiber. You don't digest plant fiber. You don't, but all the billions of creatures inside you do. No? Yeah? Trick yourself. It doesn't just go, plant fiber is not just there to cleanse out your intestines and shit. No, the creatures inside you eat the plant fiber. They create the enzymes which create you. Like every fucking thing, which gets it from the sun, which gets it from the moisture, which gets it from the pressure, from the ore. But say, if you give yourself at least 30 different plant fibers, you can sustain 30 different armies. How you do that? If you go to make soup next time, add every spice that you got in your cupboard. If there's spices you don't like, I'm talking about less than an eighth of a teaspoon of all of them. There's some fucking pretty grunty ones. Even juniper berry, that's pretty fucked up. But I just add so small of that one. And then the ones that I really like you can chuck a tablespoon of garlic powder. You can chuck a tablespoon of onion powder. You can chuck, if you like curry, you can chuck like half a tablespoon to it. Depends how hot you like it, whether it's mild one. Tarragon, paprika. I love pimento, which is like the actual allspice, not homemade allspice, not the one when they add cloves and shit. But yeah, I like cloves too. If you're just having don't have nutmeg by itself, have mace. Mace is the outside of it. You can't digest it properly without having both of them together. Same shit. If you're eating a plant, try and get the whole motherfucker. the whole fruit, the package of the whole fucking fruit. No? If you're eating a kiwi fruit, eat a bit of that skin too, just so it can get through the different doors and shit. Have consideration for the creatures that are in you. Not just straight off the bat. No? Not just straight... don't just try and get all the parasites in you straight off the bat. Like small steps. Slowly start voting organics. Slowly start looking after you. Slowly start talking to yourself nicely a little bit. Terapautama, which is the action of it. Feeling it. Talk nicely to yourself at least once a day. Show yourself te wairu at least once a day. Even just 10 seconds a day, but show it to yourself every motherfucking day. But building diversity, how you build those armies. If you're making a curry or something, add you can go to the shop and get the dried lentil mix or seed mix. I got jars and shit, but there's packs. You could have split peas. We have red lentils, orange lentils, beans. Chuck the 4-bean mix. If you added 10 spices and then you just added that bean mix, you already got 15 in that one hit. And then if you're making a smoothie, get the mixed berries. Then you got the what would that be? You'll get the blackberries, the raspberries, the blueberries, a banana, strawberries, apple. Even if there's a Royal Gala apple and a Braeburn apple, those are 2 different plant fibers. No? You can support 2 different armies just off that. But say if we got 30 different armies established within us, then the doors start opening up. Any virus that enters your body through your nose, your mouth, your ears, your eyes, or your skin, an adaptive immune system, Hinekeira's running that shit. If you're in a defensive state, you're blocking that shit. To Matauranga. No? When you see it in the moko pattern, it looks like a T. The outside bit of the outside bit blocking the motherfucker. And then you let it in, which is the rongo. And Hinekeira. You could call it Hinekeira too. And same with anumato, let the coldness in. You can live off that shit. No, when you stop learning how to block it. But same thing, you can live off the Māori of the fire if you can quiet your mind
Otherwise, kaiahi, if I'm holding my attention on the warmth of the fire, or if I'm staring at the flame, or if I'm listening to the fire, I'm grabbing the mauri from the fire. But if my mind's busy, it's going straight to something else. If my mind's quiet, I'm absorbing it. I can live off that shit. But you can't just do it straight off the bat. You'll fucking die of hunger. Same thing if you just stop drinking. You can get moisture off the air from practicing hene moana, the hydrogen that's in the air. Like, once you can learn to see the particles in the air, the static in the air, and then you're moving around and you're looking at the particles around your skin with a quiet mind, pretending you're in water, pushing against the water, you're absorbing it. Water comes to your mouth. You can't just do that off the bat. You got to build a relationship with her first. Small steps. You got to learn to feel it. Matauranga is magic. Knowledge is beautiful. But until you build a relationship with it, you don't even know whether it's true for you, which is what Pauhene is. You feel it each day. You show it to yourself each day, and you get to realize, and just 10 seconds each day, and you get to realize whether it's true. It's not just regurgitating knowledge. It's fucking real shit. Yeah? And then you can learn to let it in instead of just dismissing knowledge. Someone says some shit, I can let it in. Yeah? Feel it, and then let the motherfucker out. Yeah, not being so defensive. But getting back to Hinekeira, building those armies, as many plant fibers on a weekly basis, and keep building the army. Probiotics is adding more creatures. You don't want to just add one type. If you are buying probiotics, make sure it's probiotics and prebiotics. Probiotics, but make sure you read on there, and there's at least 20, I reckon. At least 20 different types of creatures that are in there. Strains of bacteria. And then prebiotics are the food for those creatures. Waste of time having probiotics, and then there's nothing to feed them that is going to die anyway. And if you're just adding, don't have probiotics all the time, because you're kicking out the natural arrangement. You're just getting recruits coming from a random source. But build a relationship with the plants. You can do that via the herbs. You can do that via the dry grains, pulses. Fucking mean. Just make sure you any types of beans, make sure you soak it overnight first. Like, you can get way more fiber from the one that's not in the brine, but if you can still get the fiber from the brine. And the magicalness from pulses, you can freeze them, defrost them, freeze them, defrost them, freeze them, defrost them, freeze them, defrost them, like 5 or 6 times, and it's alright. People will tell you, no, you can't do that. You can't do that with the animal. Like, fuck no, you can't do that. You're going to fuck yourself up. Same with any type of dairy product, you can't do that. But a lot of plant fibers, you can do that. You can just chuck a cabbage, and like, because I did quite a bit of raw as well, and I don't eat heaps. You can just add a cabbage leaf, chuck it in the freezer, freeze it, and then bring it out again and let it defrost, and you can eat the motherfucker meat. But it's just that mind thing, no? If you haven't built a relationship with anu mātou, like our tupuna used to cook with the ice. That's what they meant. But if it's foreign to you, then we got a defense. But yeah, as we're getting back to Hinekeira, building your diversity, this is Rongoa 101. And then as Rongoa should have always been taught with whareatua. Whareatua is the mushroom world, which is your microvascular system. It's the communication between each of your pressure points, each of your atua. It's the communication between every creature on the earth. You want to protect it, which is why you got to have a mulch or a living mulch to protect it from the sun. It's the fungus world, the most magical way, as they're talking about rongo marairua, getting back to your garden. Like, if you have any type of health issues, start a garden. And plant each of the herbs. Fuck your backyard. even if you're having a raised garden, but nah, man, get back to the garden and actually pay attention to what the fuck's happening. What I mean that 10 years of energy. I'm not showing off too. Like, I'm a fucking maniac the way I live and shit. I pushed away everyone in my life type of shit. I pushed away everything because I was on a mission to fucking get to know what the fuck is really up with this shit. I studied rongoa like a maniac. I wrote like a fucking massive book that I haven't published yet of rongoa, and I tested every fucking thing out. I didn't know that it was diversity. You need that diversity. But here we got like 80 different edible plants, and that's not like what everyone else would be looking at. Everyone else would be looking at something big that can sustain you. Even though the pawpaw, the banana passion fruits are mean, the naranjillas mean, gumara, riwais mean, but like things that can, but that's not what it's for. It's for the diversity. There's like heaps of them are like fucking little types of grasses and plants, but there's 80 different varieties of them, which just supports a huge army. And then it's like, that's not going to sustain you. And it's like, it does. And I never ever get sick. I got a 5-year-old daughter who's never been to the doctor. She was born beside the fire, and that's not showing off. This is what I spent 1 billion years in Te Pōtahuri Atu, because I knew it wasn't just going to benefit me. I'm subconsciously, like, there's a huge part of me that's just doing it for my own adventure type of shit. Otherwise I wouldn't be down to do it. But that's where it's at. Kawa is not going to save you. Like, like, you're going to be sweet anyway. When you die, you realize it's not actual dead anyway. You wake up the fuck anyway. I promise. From living in Te Awairua, there is no actual death. You can, like, manifest an illusion of death. And that's magic too. Like, the actual believe that you've lost someone and that you're never going to see them again, and then boom, you see them again. Fuck, that's magic. I can see why we pulled that fucking hoodwink on ourselves, you know. But diversity is the key. Hinekeira is the key. That's the true rongoa. You don't. Gardening's the one though. Like, give back. But if you get 30 plant fibers in you, when I have a smoothie, I'm having over 80 plant fibers. When I first heard like 30 is the magical number, if you can have 30 plant fibers in you per week, then you never get sick. When I first heard that, I was like, fuck, that's heaps. And it's not when you actually start doing it. And you can do that from home. You can do that through dried foods, buying bulk, go to bin in, family pantry. Every country, with whatever country you're looking at, what would you call it? Whole Foods. Check out online Whole Foods. Organic, even better. You're going to get way more nutrient, way more fiber. Otherwise, you got an organic apple. You're going to have to eat like 10 apples to get the amount of grunt that organic apple does. So keep that in mind when you have when you're pricing things up. It's like, shit, I get like 7 apples. You only get like 3 organic apples. And it's like, the motherfucker with the 3 organic apples is fucking... That's way better. But if it's not available to you, it's kei te pai. The more you raise your vibration though, you get more sensitive to the different things. You get more sensitive to the insecticides, pesticides, antibiotics. And it's like,
how that works is all the creatures inside you are talking to you hard out, non-stop, all the time. Your body's talking to you. Your tinana has more communication with te ao wairua than your mental does, because our mental is fucking all over the place. So even if when your mind gets quieter, you start to balance those two. But your body is in full communication with te ao wairua. All the creatures inside you are talking to you hard out, but they're numbed out. No? Insecticides, pesticides, antibiotics, hormones, numb. Your body's numb, but there's a feedback happening. It's talking to you. My body talks really loud. Most people don't hear the communication from their body until the body screams at them, and that's usually you going to hospital or some shit. But we're too stuck in our day to day. It used to trouble me when I was trying to help everyone, but now I don't. I just self-love, and through my own self-love, I think I'm helping more than ever. But when I was actually trying to help, it bothered me. It was hard for me. I was suffering, like seeing my family killing themselves, but I was paying attention to that instead of paying attention to them. Their higher consciousness wanted to experience this, so that's kei te pai too. Fucking me. And Io has to experience every vibration for them to be experiencing that vibration. I can let it go. The same as me walking past someone sniffing glue. If I think to myself, poor motherfucker, or stupid motherfucker, I'm taking that home with me. I've labeled it. I'm carrying that with me. If I think to myself, thank you, no, thank you for holding that. No, thank you for experiencing that, because you're experiencing that part of the all. I don't have to. No, taking one for the team, and that's real. That's how EO works. And then that gratitude, I can let it go. So everyone, I'm fucking so thankful for however you're living, for however you have been living. You did that for us. There's no two creatures that can have the same perception ever. I can't push my perception on anyone else. But I can share it, and I appreciate you for sharing yours. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for holding every part of that net. Fuck, I appreciate it. I really 100% do. Fucking grachi, ngā mihi. Shit. But diversity is key, is what I'm getting at. You can do it no matter what life you're living at right now. 30 different plant fibers per week. You got this shit. Once you start doing it, no, fucking easy. And then how that works. So you got 30 different plant fibers. You just awoken 30 different armies inside you. And now, if a virus goes past you, your skin will actually open up. No?
Hinekeira will say, come in.
And the virus will come through, your cells will open up, and the virus will come in, but it has to go through however many armies you have. And those are like rooms. You could say caves, but they're rooms, and each room has the army in it, but different analysis teams. They got different musicians, they got different types of kai, they got different types of lighting, they got different types of pressure, different types of temperature. And then all they're just doing is stimulating the virus, you know? Trying to learn as much as you can from this creature, and like telling it jokes, whistling, tickle it under its arm, push it behind its knee over there, see how to make it fall over, see what it likes, start talking to it, see what environment it wants to live at, you know, whether you can produce that for it. And then once the cauliflower army's learnt as much as it can, goes to the next army: broccoli army, rosemary army, thyme army, lovage army, kawakawa army, kumaraho army, tatonia army, casimiro army, kohu army, nasturtium army, kopa army, curry leaf army, riwai army. So why they say it's the 30, once that virus has gone through 30 rooms, it's already joined. It doesn't even get to the 30. That's why it's the magical number 30. When you're eating plant fibers, if you can eat at least 30 different plant fibers, no matter what virus they've found, if it gets through the 30 rooms, it's already joined your army. No? As you're learning from it, it's learning from you. No? And that's just why definitely listen to the Puraakau I'm putting out about Hinekeira, learning or meeting te taniwha a Hinekeira. Offers it, finds out where it wants to live, and it wants to live, it had a dream, it wants to live at the top of this maunga beside this waterfall. And it produces that for it. You can have this whare up the top of that maunga over there with that waterfall, but you have to give back to the earth. You have to participate within this system. If you want to be in and on my body, you gotta participate. Otherwise, you can get the fuck off. And if the virus says, nah, I'm not participating, fuck yous, then I can just whistle. You already know as much as you can about it. You can tickle it under his arm and it falls over. You don't have to pull out the bazookas. Matauranga doesn't have to use all the arsenal against it and attack it and then create all that information and blow up the whole back wall. Doesn't have to do that. Like, you can just whistle. And it falls over. It's like, yeah, we already spent all this time getting to know you. My 30 armies, fucking, we know everything about you. Yeah. Be with us, no? And that's it to all. And the more you realize you've got yourself, the more you're going to catch yourself. Fucking magic. Like, that's true health. And then the more you know you're going to catch yourself, you don't have to think about no many what ifs. I remember when my auntie was first proposing that, like, no vaccinations or anything. This is before COVID or anything. That telling us when we have our baby, like prophesized, when Ātēnukuro Mhōrnui Rangi comes, that no insecticides, no pesticides, no doctors, we'll give birth beside the fire and everything. And then it was big like, fucking now. And me and Hina having all these different, and our family like fucking pushing all their fears on us type of shit, and we were feeling it too. It's like, fuck, what if fucking this happens? What, fuck, do we need paracetamol? Do we need this shit? And yeah, we were manifesting all the time. She was getting sick a couple of times, but we were just like having faith in it, and then it was sweet. And then it would be like try and go back through my notes of all these different rongwa that help with different things, and we'll try. It's like, fuck, but maybe that's not the one with the baby, or maybe that's not the one when you're hapu. And then fuck, when you're eating all these different kai, it's like, nah, I can't have that, nah, baby can't have that. Same things when you got all the spices. When you just got nutmeg by itself, that's overpowering. When you got nutmeg, mace, clove, pimento, it's not overpowering anymore. They balance each other out. Same when you got all these different rongwa all together at small amounts. Fuck, they're all good. They balance each other out. It's not like you're just having kumaraho, a whole gang of the motherfuckers. It's not like you're just having a gang of rangiora. Moral of the story, grachi, ngā mihi, i o e au.